Good afternoon, everybody. Sorry for the little delay. Guess we had difficulties with the new camera. It happens and we had to readjust. But hopefully you were patient enough to wait for my live. I see some people joining us. And what is the purpose of today live? Well, I did it already a video on how to get set up with brokers. What is a broker carrier agreement, right? But I really want to make sure that my students understand how it has to be done, what you need to do, because in our January class, we have 75 students. And one of the homework was making sure you know how to set up with broker carrier agreement between broker and carrier, right? So let's first figure out what it is. And then we're going to look probably at TQL because everybody's going to start with TQL and maybe England logistics. We'll see how fast we're going to go. So first, I'm going to teach you guys. And in the end, I will answer any questions. So let's see. First, I need to make sure, as many of you know, I usually share my screen with a PDF that you guys can see and you guys can rewatch later, okay? So what is a carrier agreement? And I really think we do have connection problem today. So guys, can you put in the comments if you can hear, if you can see me clear? Because I really want to make sure that that's something we can cover without bad streaming, okay? So if you can hear me, if you can see me well, just put the comment, yes, I can see you, yes, I can hear you, okay? So broker carrier agreements, everything you need to know. So let's look at the broker's view. Why do they want to have a broker carrier agreement? Why is it dispatcher you need to sign this up? Why do you guys need to know how to do this? I'm going to move myself here tiny in a corner so you guys can see better. So let's start from this. First, this is one of the most important paperwork you guys have to do before you're going to start booking the loads. Usually, the broker will ask you your MC number, your USDOT number, and if you're not in their system, they're going to say, well, would you like to get set up with us? Well, of course, you guys need the load, right? So you need to set up with them. So we call this initial setup. This is agreement for what? For both parties. Which parties do we have? Well, we have brokers on one side, right? And we have carriers, trucking company on another side. They need to exchange paperwork, initial setup, broker carrier agreement, where they specify broker puts their terms and you have to agree with them, right? So that's what it is. This is initial paperwork where brokers put what they want from you, how the payment's going to be done, and we're going to go over this, right? This basic explanation to this, that this is a contract, this is agreement, right? And you have to remember that this is enforceable mutual obligations. So what does it mean? I mean, for people who are in USA, you know that we can enforce everything in the courts. So this is enforceable agreement. So if one of the parties are gonna break some obligations or is gonna do something which is not in the contract, then, for example, TQL can take carrier Alex transportation to court and enforce. That means that they're gonna fight, and maybe you have to pay penalties, maybe you have to pay damages and everything else. So this is not just the paperwork. This is actually legal agreement, and both parties have their obligations. You as a dispatcher, you will be asked to fill it out, right? To set it up. We will gonna go through some rules for this because if you work for somebody, if it's not your company, yes, you can do this, but we're gonna see what you cannot put, like your name, signatures, what has to be there, right? So far till this point, I want to make sure that you understand that it's a legal agreement between broker and carrier. You as dispatcher, you are in the middle to do this process. How to get set up with TQL? You as a dispatcher have to fill out broker carrier agreement, send requested paperwork, and you are set up, right? We call this initial setup. So next time, when, for example, Laranda gonna call TQL, they're gonna say, "Well, Laranda, what is UMC?" She says 555667, and they say, "Well, you already in the system because she did set up already. Maybe previous dispatcher already set up the broker with this carrier. So if you come in as a dispatcher for the company which you've been in business for a few months, some of the brokers are already set up. You don't have to do paperwork, right? But with the new brokers, which you never did the business, you will need to do this setup. That's why I'm doing this video, because I couldn't answer to every student with the questions. Why do I do it? How to do it? We're gonna look, and together we're gonna fill out hopefully 2 packages, one for England Logistics, one for TQL. But let's finish up with the terminology. So first, what happens, right? First, brokers post the load, right? And they offer a rate for the load. We as a dispatchers, we are looking for the load. We go and we negotiate, right? And after we decided that this transit makes sense and that's what you want to do, you need to accept this load, right? And of course, before you accept rate confirmation, you have to make sure you are set up. So let me back you up here. Broker carrier agreement done, we do it once, right? And it's good for the rest until we go out of the business or we stop working with this broker or broker goes out of the business. Rate confirmation. This is also legal agreement. But for what? This is agreement. Where's my little trucks? Exactly for today, from A to B. So rate confirmation is also enforceable legal agreement between whom? Carrier, a broker, but exactly for this load. This is a difference. Broker carrier agreement, usually it's a setup. They are all different, like we are all different. Trucking companies have a different names. Brokers have different names and different setups. Some of them are fancy. They have 17 pages, some of them 25. Some of them only have 2 pages, right? So you as a dispatcher just need to know what to answer, right? Because information is going to be same over and over and over, okay? So here it is. So we need to make sure we know this. We're going to be displaying what? Obligations, requirements in that carrier setup, right? Considerations, all the rate and charges. What else? Capacity and qualification. So those agreements, they have some specifications which you need to meet as a carrier, and you have to agree to them. Lots of times, people asking me, Alex, I open carrier broker agreement and I disagree with this, and this. Can I reach out to TQL? Can I reach out to England Logistics? Can I reach out to Coyote? Can I reach out to Amazon and tell them, me as an owner of Alex Transportation, I do not agree with this, and this. Well, logically and in a perfect tracking, right? That would be good. And it would be wise for you to do, because if you don't agree to some terms, you should not sign any agreements. But guys, remember, trucking is not a fair business. And if you're not going to agree, what's going to happen? Well, you're not going to set up with the brokers and you're not going to have loads. So this is unfairness of trucking business, right? I wish we would have time to go through their setups, to give it to attorney, to our lawyer, to see what fits us, what's not, because in those tiny little prints, there's a lot of things. And usually, as a carrier, we are always at fault. Flashing news to you. Welcome to trucking. right? But let's continue. Okay. The key sections with the broker carrier agreement, right? They come in a different format, different layout, but doesn't matter who the broker is. The information is going to be always the same. First, who is involved? Well, who is involved? Broker and carrier, right? So we need to exchange information about what? We need to exchange information about our carrier. We need to exchange information about our physical address, about capacity, how many trucks we have, what are we willing to do, what are we not willing to do, right? Date and terms. We need to date it that starting at this date, that's when we starting working with this broker, right? So this is anything which any agreement you guys have in life, you have specifications, right? Then some of them they're gonna include geography and commodities. They for example, only this is gonna be whole. If you cannot have coverage, you cannot hold this. Specific services, right? Who is responsible for loading, unloading, palletized, packing, cargo protection, and all other steps, accessorial charges, tunnel, layover. So all of those little things are in that broker carrier agreement. But usually, as a dispatcher, we don't even have time to read through them, right? Also, they're gonna have some prohibitions that you cannot double broker, you cannot take this load and give it to somebody else, right? So all of this are stipulations in those agreements. Of course, they're gonna discuss the freight charges, payments, how you're gonna get paid after you deliver, any equipment and labor, right? Bill of ladings, everything has to do with their contract. And you, as a carrier, you have to agree to this. Okay. So they also gonna include what? All the cargo and liability insurance requirements, right? They're gonna make sure that you agree to indemnification costs, right? So you have to really read through this. But again, in trucking, we don't have time for this, and we are not lawyers. Also, there is gonna be something about the dispute resolutions, how you guys gonna take to each other to court. All of this is there. So let's look at TQL. So TQL tells you they're gonna send you package or you can do it online. Today we are looking at the older version because nowadays everything online. So my students have to practice, right? They have to practice because the questions are going to be the same. Of course, they are practicing on what, guys? They are practicing on real setups, but they have, for example, fake setup for the company, which I created. Some of them already have the company. They have MC, DOT, and they practice it on real information. So what is asked in the class? I sent 10, 12, 15 setups. And you as a student, you need to fill it out to your best ability to know how to do it in future. Because remember, just watching me, it's one thing. Listening to me, it's also maybe helpful. But until you physically gonna do at least 1 or 2 or 3 setups, it's never gonna stay in your head. That's why we do this practice. So we're gonna open right now empty. I'm gonna share with you empty TQL setup. So that's how it comes, right? 16 pages. So you're receiving it and you need to fill out all this information. What is this? This is first page. This is a cover page for TQL. They want to make sure that you know their billing address. You need to make sure you know their ratings, who is their insurance, their MC, who they belong to, right? Their surety bond, even their carrier references. So we call this cover page for what? For TQL as a broker. It's their cover page. And then we're going to scroll down. And here, when we're going to see everything that we have to start filling out. So actually, I open already the one which I start filling out, right? So let me just switch to this one. This is the empty. So oh, this is not empty. Okay, let's do this. Okay. Um, you need to answer all these questions, right? You need to make sure you sign this agreement. You have to send them copy of your insurance. You need to make sure you include your W-9. If you have workers' compensation, you have to include it. You need to send them proof of your MC. This form completed. If you have a factoring company, you need to send them NOA, notice of assignment. Again, notice of assignment is what? Notice of assignment, this is agreement. This is paperwork, contract between whom? Between factoring company and carrier. In this case, Safe Carrier Inc., I name it, right? Safe Carrier. So NOA, this is a notice of assignment, not awesomeness, not agreement, assignment, which helps brokers to see where the checks has to be mailed after you deliver the load as a carrier. So NOA, notice of assignment, agreement between carrier and factoring company, has nothing to do with broker, but broker has to be notified who is a factoring and where do we send the money. Okay, so easy. I, for example, use what? I use Adobe. You can use anything, and you start filling out. Okay, who is your carrier? Safe Carrier Inc. Who is gonna be dispatchers, right? Maybe you have more dispatchers. Maybe you have more dispatchers, so you're gonna start putting here. I just put this example, Alexandra Mike. Okay, what is the physical address? I just created this address, Mount Prospect. If you have the same one for you for your mail, then you're gonna put the same. If your mail goes somewhere else, maybe you have PO box, then you're gonna put PO box for carrier. Remember, you are dispatcher, right? Phone number. Whose phone number are you guys gonna put here? Well, you guys are gonna put carrier phone number, not dispatcher, because you're doing it for carrier. Whose fax number you're gonna put? Carrier fax number. Whose email? Carrier email. If they have website, you're gonna put the website. Do your company use dispatch service? If they use, then you're gonna put yes. And if you are independent dispatcher, you're gonna put the name of your company. In this case, I just put dispatch training center, right? And I put the phone number. Is your company a SmartWay partner? Yes or no? If your company is SmartWay partner, you will have certification. Then you need to answer all of this question. Is your company minority-owned business? Again, it's about your carrier. It's not about you. Yes or no? Well, in this case, no. Are you economically disadvantaged? No. Are you a female-owned business? No. Are you have anything to do with a veteran-owned business? Yes or no? Who is the claim contact? Usually it's going to be owner of the company. So in this case, I put my name. What is your code? Well, usually alpha code, you as a carrier, you're not going to have. This is an alpha code for people who produce something or sell something. Does your company broker extra freight? Yes or no? Well, if you're going to say yes, that means that you're going to be booking loads with a TQL and double brokering. So this question is kind of tricky. Of course, no, you're not going to do that. You're not going to do double brokerage, right? They're going to ask you how many trucks you have. Let's say in this case, you have 5 trucks. Usually, when you start with a new company, you're going to only have 1 truck. And they ask, please, can you verify what kind of trailers do you have? So if I have 5 trucks total, in this case, I may be having 2 reefers, 2 dry vans, and 1 vented van, right? Or maybe I don't have vented van and I have 1 step deck. Whatever equipment you have, your total number here and breakdown has to make sense, right? Is your company Hazmat certified? No, because if it would be certified, you would have safety permit. How do you track your drivers? Well, we do have GPS, yes. Cell phones, yes. Other ELD, yes, we do. If GPS, can TQL have access online? No, sorry, TQL, we're not going to give you access because most of the time you're still going to be tracking our drivers to micropoint, for kites tracking, the third party. So no, we're not going to give you access to our GPS. Okay. And you're going to go to what? To this part. If you guys work for the big company and you work from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m., okay, then put it here, right? If that's what you have to do. I'm not going to go through this because I'm not wasting my time. It's pretty easy information, right? And if you have on Saturday, maybe you have a different phone number because it's your after hours or weekend person, then you can put the phone number here. Let's say this, right? And whoever works after hours, it's going to be, for example, I don't know, Kevin works after hours, right? And this is a number. And during the week we have whatever, I guess this number maybe ending with 7, okay, 705, right? So you guys gonna fill this out. Let's go to the next page here, where you need to choose how they're gonna pay you. In this case, we know for sure that we have factoring. If we have factoring, we can only get 28 days standard pay because we do not want TQL to give us money faster, and they still going to give it to you factoring because you have notice of assignment and still charge you 3%. So if your carrier has factoring, you always going to choose 28-day pay, no fees, and check will be mailed to your factoring. Your factoring is going to pay you after delivery or load within 24 to 48 hours. If you do not have factoring, then you need to ask your carrier how he likes to get paid. And if he is okay to get paid in 7 days, the TQL will deduct 3% and send the remaining to him. He can do the ACH form, or if you want a 1-day quick pay, they will charge you 5%. What else they're offering us? Or direct deposit. So all this paperwork has to be submitted prior to payment. It has to have invoice. So if you have factoring, your factoring is going to create invoice. You need to make sure you have BOL, bill of lading, or POD. Actually, you need a POD, proof of delivery. So BOL becomes POD after you deliver, after you have signature, after you have stamp on bill of lading. So you submit that, you send the original rate confirmation with your signature, right? And that's how you get paid. So let's go back. We know that in this case, we do have factoring. So here you go. We're going to go here and do what? So what is the legal way of the carrier? So we put that it's what? Save carrier. Okay, save carrier Inc. Who is gonna sign here? Well, it has to be signature of the owner of your carrier. You as a dispatcher, you cannot sign. So you can have picture and authorization from the carrier. That's when limited power of attorney comes in place. So let's back up one more time. You as a dispatcher, you can fill this out. You as a dispatcher, you can exchange paperwork, but you as a dispatcher legally cannot sign this agreement. You can sign rate confirmation because you are the one who agreed to this load. You knew that it's going to pick up at 12, it's going to deliver next day at 5. You knew that commodity was beverages. You knew how heavy it was. You knew who's a shipper and a receiver. If you are a good professional dispatcher, you're going to ask all those questions before you're going to start negotiating. There you can sign rate confirmation for exactly that load, right? But carrier broker agreement has to be signed by owner. Lots of owners are on the road. They also truck drivers. So that's why they have to give you permission to use their signature to sign paperwork. Because if you're gonna fill this out, and then send it to your driver or owner for him to sign. Sometimes it takes too long and you really need to get set up really fast. You really need to get that load. So that's why independent dispatchers, they have power of attorney, limited power of attorney to use what? Signature of the owner for the purpose of setup. Are we clear on this? Okay, put likes if we are clear on this so we can go in, guys. Start putting likes so I can see a reaction if you guys are comprehending this information. Okay, so what is the date today? Well, today is 1/28, 2022. Signed by whom? Signed by owner of the company. So let's say I am just a dispatcher. I am not the owner, right? So Mike, and I don't know, the owner of the company, Mike Chester. I don't know, whatever. I just created the fake name. So he's the owner of the company. This is his signature, not my signature. He gave me permission as a dispatcher to use his signature. If I am independent dispatcher, I have limited power of attorney to use his signature. So good, guys. Yes, put likes if we are good. Okay, let's go to next page, right? Because we fill this out. ComCheck authorization. Okay, let's look through this. This is something you will need to discuss with Mike, right? So if I am his dispatcher, before I'm going to start filling out this information, I will ask him, Mike, is your company, let's say Save Carrier, this is his company. Do you want drivers to get fuel advance via ComCheck? Do you want dispatchers to get fuel advance via ComCheck? Does anybody can get this? And guys, next week we're gonna have video of actually scamming in trucking, and we had a really bad example of not ever let this happen. And you're gonna understand why, because we have people who have information about carriers, about brokers. They book the loads, and that's how they get their money before loads gets delivered. So in this case, my recommendations, no. First of all, most of you have fuel card, so you already have line of credit for fuel. Secondary, for IFTA purposes, you want to separate your fuel and do it through your fuel cards. You want to make sure you get discounts. So in this case, no, no, and no, right? So that's as a dispatcher. You discuss this with your carrier. So let's continue. In the end, what are you putting again? Well, you are safe carrier, right? Signed by whom? Signed by Mike. And see, it's already remembers, right? So here's Mike's signature. And who is Mike? Well, in this case, he's president. And again, date today is 01/28/22. What is his MC? I don't know. I'm just going to create one MC. 555-6666. His MC. What is his DOT? Let's say it's 234-567. And what is his tax ID? 47-356721. Guys, again, this is just the fake numbers. I don't know. Hopefully nobody has those numbers, right? So I just put the numbers there. Okay, let's keep going. What is this? This is if you guys don't have a factoring, you will need to fill out with information for what? For your carrier, where his account, if you are changing an account. So this has something to do with invoicing, how they get paid. Again, in this case, we already know we have factoring. We're still going to choose 28 days, no additional fees. And we're going to repeat all the stuff we've been doing, right? Signed by whom? Signed by Mike, right? Chester. We're going to repeat, guys. In the next page, I'm not going to be repeating this because it's very easy. So 555, what did we put? 666, right? That's his MC. Remember 234, did we put his MC? Okay, let's put that MC for him. And his tax ID 47, what did we put? Whatever. this, let's say this, his MC. Date sign, again, 01, 22, I mean 28, 28, 2022. So I am not going to be repeating this on the next page because, guys, you should already understand that information is going to be repetitive. Are we good on this? Okay. So, substitute form number 9. They want to make sure TQL, not all the brokers, they want to make sure that please fill out this form. So, what has to be here? Again, your carrier, right? Safe, safe carrier. Doing business. If you have DBA, then you're gonna put maybe he's doing business as SCIN. You're gonna know this. Where is he incorporated? Well, I am in Illinois, so I'm gonna put, let's say, Illinois again. He's a MC. Oh, I mean, whatever the number we switch there, right? Okay. If you're doing business in the individual or partnership, that's what you're gonna do. But usually, guys, you are LLC, corporation, or partnership. You do not come to trucking under your social security, right? Because this is not a business when you're gonna do as a physical person. Again, sign. Who is gonna sign? Signed by whom? Again, I'm not repeating this. Mike Chester, company address, right? So you're just gonna make sure you put the address here and you're gonna continue. Signature, title, he's the president, date. It's easy, easy. Next page. Now we go in to broker carrier agreement. So that's the part where we have all those stipulations, where we have all those rules that we have to agree to all of this, right? And of course, it's going to have what? It's going to have both parties listed. So this is going to be what? Total Quality Logistics and our Safe Carrier Inc., right? Those two parties are going into agreement to do what? To do business. And what is their business? TQL as a broker, their business is to arrange movement from A to B for their buyers, for their shippers, for their receivers. What is our business as a trucking company? We need to move the freight from A to B. Are we doing it for free? No. Brokers charging their fee for arranging services. We as a carrier charging our fee for moving from A to B. The moment we're going to pick up that load, we close the door. This is our liability until we deliver, and we have the proof, POD, proof of delivery, that the goods were not damaged, that the goods were picked up and delivered on time. If we meet all of those criteria, we're gonna get paid, right? By TQL, because we got into agreement to do business with them to move cargo from A to B. They have our MC, they have our USDOT, they have our address, they're gonna have our signatures that we agree to all of this, right? And they're gonna pay us for each load we book with them, right? So let's go back. All of these pages, look how many pages. All of this, remember, terms, carrier stuff, whatever. You have to do this, and this. Brokers compensation, how they gonna pay you. Do you really think that you as a dispatcher are gonna sit and read through this? Half of the things you're not gonna even understand. But pay attention to this. The DOT safety rating. So they are saying that if you gonna have unsatisfactory rating, they not gonna work with you. If you have conditional rating, unfit, marginal, unsatisfactory. So now let's go back to this. How important it is to watch your safety records, because you might set up with a TQL and they are giving you loads. 3 months later, you call them and you are set up with them, right? You are set up with them and they say, unfortunately, you are unsafe carrier. And you're like, what do you mean? I am already set up with you. And they say, well, your rating changed. You have conditional rating. Unfortunately, your drivers have too many violations. We're not going to give you load. Although even if we are set up with you, call us back when your rating improves, or sometimes they're going to ask you for corrective action plan. And that's what we covering, guys, in safety. That's not something you as a dispatcher are gonna do. You need to know about this, but this is already next level of dispatching. Today we are on beginner's level, right? But just remember, CAP, CAP, corrective action plan. It has to be done by your safety department, by your owner. You as a dispatcher at least need to know the terminology. So in this case, you as a dispatcher, you just scrolling down. Of course, they want to make sure that what? That you have coverage, right? And mandatory coverage is 1 million for primary liability. And you, if you are a hazmat carrier, you need to have 5 million. And look at this, for cargo, 100,000. So see, they stipulate in here that only you can get set up if you have this. Most of the brokers, they want 1 million in primary liability and 100,000 in cargo. Then they have stipulation about hazmat carriers, also about the claims. They put in all the rules, all of this, right? You guys can read it in my classes. You guys receive this. You can, but when you guys getting set up, you are not attorney. You're not the owner of the company. So what are you gonna do? Usually you're gonna scroll down, scroll down, scroll down. Look at this. Another important co-brokering, right? They are telling you guys you cannot double broker their loads. Then we have all the discharge and waivers, analysis and law. All of this is here about the factoring. See, they're asking you if you have a factoring, you need to give us that pay assignment. They call it pay assignment. But most of us, we call it NOA, notice of assignment. From whom? From your factoring and carrier. What else? Electronic communications, right? They want to make sure that you sign, that you agree, that you communicate, right? All of this. Confidentiality. They don't want you to share the shippers and receivers and all the pickup info and all of this, right? So see, they even cover this. You cannot go and go directly to the shipper after you book 2 loads and try to take that load. Does it happen? Happens all the time. But if they find out, they can take you to court. Remember, this agreement is enforceable. They can take you to court. Then all the duties, right? They need to make sure that you do your part and broker does their part. You're gonna scroll down. If you guys want to read, you can go and find ask them to send you the copy of this. Or in my classes, the students have it. We got to the end of this. So what do you need to do? Again, you're gonna put safe carrier, right? Safe carrier in signature of whom? Of the owner, right? So we're gonna put right here, and who we created, I guess Mike Chester is the owner, state of incorporation, let's say Illinois, and city and state of the office, we're going to put here Rolling Meadows, let's say NMC. What did we created? 555666. All right. And whatever DOT 234, whatever we guys did, just as example, right? This is a US DOT. And tax ID number 46-789. Guys, again, I am just putting the numbers because I'm just giving you example, right? And what it is? This is already signature from TQL. Who signed this? Guy from TQL, Mark Botswick. Who is he? I guess he's an operational sales manager. And the last page, look at this, Appendix A. If you have hazmat materials, guys, you need to sign this, right? Again, in this case, my guy is not hazmat carrier. We don't have to sign this. So you finish this up. You send back to TQL with what? With your W-9, with your carrier setup packet, right? We guys already watched the video. You guys seen it. You're going to have it from your carrier. Make sure it looks nice because it's like your face, right? And that's it. 5-10 minutes. They're going to verify information. And now you set up your carrier. They save Carrier Inc. with TQL. For what? For future business. Now we're going to talk about this load. When we agree on the terms about the price, now we're going to have second agreement, rate confirmation. We're going to go in details in rate confirmation probably next week. I'm going to do another live because it's just easier for me to go live and explain for everybody than to answer personally to each student in a homework. But so far, put the likes. Are we clear what we have to do? And I'm going to have 30 seconds commercial because our safety is coming up on Sunday. And we're going to try to do one more. We're going to look at England logistics, right? So please, I want to see at least 5-10 likes that you guys understand so I can keep going. If you have any questions, I will be answering them, okay? So I'll be right back in just 30 seconds. Okay, and I'm back. So let's see. We have the comments. Okay, yes, we have to fill out the paperwork. Yes. What did I miss? You guys can rewatch. So we finished the TQL. As I said, every setup is different, right? Like every broker is different, every setup is different. So let's look, for example, in England logistics. How much different is it from TQL? So let's open it up. And this is a empty one, right? So again, you guys gonna open it up. In this case, it's 19 pages. So TQL was below what, 16, 17? And sometimes you guys gonna have a setup package, which is like 2 pages. So what they want to make sure that you do, well, for you to get improved, you need to make sure that you fill out carrier profile, right? Who is the carrier? How many trucks he has? Okay. You need to make sure what? You finish this setup, this 15, 16 pages, 19 pages. Yes? Yes. You have to send them proof of your MC. Correct? Correct. You need to make sure you send them W-9. Yes? Yes. You need to make sure you send them certificate of insurance. Correct? Correct. With what? At least 1 million primary. And if you have CARB, you need to include that if you have CARB certification. And signed copy of this agreement. Yes, in this case, for example, maybe you don't have CARB certification. And if you need to get paid directly from them, you need to fill this out. But remember, we have factoring, so I am not going to fill this out. And look at this. Cab truck registration may be requested. So if they want to verify exactly that this driver, this VIN number is on the policy, they might request your cab card. So let's continue. So as a dispatcher, what do you have to do? You need to make sure that you put certificate holder with who? Assure Assist. They want to make sure that you have it. So who is Assure Assist? In this case, this is a third party who collects information about carriers' insurance, and they charge England Logistics for faster verification. Because a lot of brokers, they want to minimize the paperwork. That's why nowadays 85% of the paperwork comes through links, not as PDFs. So we are watching now PDFs so you guys can understand. But the question's gonna be same when you guys gonna do it online. So you need to make sure you have a certificate holder. Again, what is a certificate holder? You as a dispatcher have to contact your agent. Usually we have access, and you're going to put exactly this. You're going to put this address because England Logistics is using third party to verify your insurance, how much you have, policy number, when is it starting, when is it ending, how many trucks you have, which trucks. So all of that has to be verified. Can they just trust you? Well, they used to. They used to trust dispatchers. But then we had so many scams going on that they stopped trusting us, right? And I actually think now, as an insurance agent, I do believe that you have to verify exactly with insurance, that this carrier has these trucks on insurance, exactly this VIN numbers. So now that's what they do. Okay, so they want you to send it back to compliance. So if you guys doing it before you book the load, you're gonna send it back to compliance and they will set you up, right? You're gonna send it from carrier email, not from your email. But usually you getting set up the moment you want to book the truck. So you're gonna have a representative from England Logistics, from TQL. So here's my advice. When you finish all this setup, you send back to exactly that person. Let's say Lisa McGuire in England Logistics or John Smith in TQL. You're going to send exactly to him and you're going to say, hey, please see attached. I finished the paperwork. Make sure we get set up, because what's happening? You're waiting to get that load. Your driver needs that load. So the faster you do this, the faster it's going to work. Okay. So let's continue. We're going back and they will need to ask, what is the company name, right? So who is it? Again, you're going back to what? Safe Trucking, right? Safe Trucking Inc., whatever, right? Company DOT. You guys gonna put company DOT number, right? Who is the owner? We already decided it's a what? Mike Chester in this case. All the phone information for whom? For carrier. Fax information for carrier. Email address for carrier, right? Let's say safe trucking at gmail.com, right? Guys, I'm not going to go through this because it's very easy. Who is the dispatcher? So then you can put your names and the email for dispatch if that's how you're going to be running, okay? Who is a billing person? Well, this is a billing. Look at this. They're asking, who is a tire decision maker? Well, why? Why England Logistics worries about your tires? Well, very simple. Because England Logistics, they own their factoring company. They have their fuel card accounts. They have their national tire accounts. So they simply want to do what? They simply want to sell you the business, right? So this is for selling extra business purposes. Okay? So in this case, if that's what you want to answer, you're going to put whom? Owner of the company. So let's continue. You guys going to fill it out. And where do you get that information? Of course, from your carrier setup. Because when you're going to start dispatching, you guys going to have all the carrier setups in front of you, right? All of them. If you dispatch 5 different companies, you're going to have 5 different setups in front of you. You're going to have them on your desktop, save as a carrier setup. You're going to have save pages separately, MC, COI, W9, and NOA separately for each carrier, so you can do this faster. Again, what are you guys going to do? Name of the company. If you have DBA, you're going to answer. Headquarters, yes or no. Mailing address for whom? For your carrier. Physical address. If it's the same, then it's going to be the same. Email, mandatory. Let's pay attention. Not your email as a dispatcher, but carrier. That safety what? Safe trucking at gmail.com. Exactly, right? Why? Because maybe you're working for them now, and in future you're not going to be working for them. So if the next dispatcher comes and he's going to be booking load, he should be able to receive those rate confirmation. Please make sure. Somebody asked me private message. He's like, well, I'm working for few carriers and I am putting my personal information, my phone number, my email. What's going to happen in case if I'm going to start working with them? Do I have to update all this? Well, again, that means that you do not understand this process. You only providing service on dispatching, broker carrier agreement. This is not contract between you as a dispatcher. You doing this. That's why they pay you that 5, 10, 15% for dispatch, because You do this part of the process, setting up. But is it your company? Is this your MC? Is this your insurance? Do you own this company? No. So what legal rights do you have to use your personal email, your personal phone number for the setup? This is not an honest business. This is not what you're going to do. You're always going to put information for carrier. Carrier will give you access to their emails. Carrier will give you access to their factoring because that's a part of the business, right? They have to trust you enough. Carrier will give you access to their load boards and EODs because you need to COD. You have to be able to go to, let's say, TQL load board, right? You have to be able to go to Coyote load board. Can you do it as a dispatcher? No, no, and no. Only carrier have access. Nowadays, we have some load boards which give you access. One of them is that, right? Most of you use our code to get the first months for free with that because we are partners with them. But again, it's only you as an independent dispatcher. That just makes it easier for you. But everything else, you do it on behalf of carrier. Okay, let's go back. So remember they were asking us DOTMC safety rating. So what safety ratings do we have? We can have none, we can have satisfactory, we can have conditional, and unsatisfactory. Again, that's something which you guys need to learn in classes. We touch on this. In safety classes, we go really in depth to learn all this. But in this case, let's say we have none because he just started. None is not good and it's not bad. It's just none. He doesn't have enough inspection to put him yet in that formula. Okay, so let's say none. Again here, none because he does not produce anything. Is it woman's own business? If yes, yes. If not, none. Factoring, yes. Who is a factoring? In this case, RTS factoring, because most of my carriers, of course, come to me because I am RTS agent. So since they are taking classes from me, they're taking safety classes, they want a good representation and they trust me. And I would never offer something which is not good because I'm also owner of the trucking company. I know how it goes. I went through a lot of scams. And so far, I've been working with RTS and I do like expiration. Why are they asking you for expiration again? Why? Remember, I told you because England Logistics have their own factoring. So they want to see if you want to switch, right? So after you actually set up with England Logistics, the next day or a few days later, you're going to receive phone calls for their national tire account, for their factoring, for all the services they provide, okay? So fuel cards, yes or no? So if yes, they also asking with whom? Of course, we have the bundle. So we do have with RTS, right? Do you have a national tire? Yes or no? No. Do you have EOBR? What is this? They did not update their setup. It's EOD. So yes, of course we have. Because why? Because it's mandatory now. You cannot be on the road without EOD unless your truck is older and was built prior 99. So then they still on a paper logbook. So again, they're asking you how many trucks you have. Let's say you have 2. How many trailers you have? You have 2. How many company drivers? Maybe 1 company driver, 1 is owner operator. They're asking you if you have reefer. Let's say we have 1 reefer and we have 1 dry van, right? Okay, can we put here 5 flatbeds? No, we cannot because we only have what? We have 4. So 1 plus 1 is 2 plus 5 is already 7. So probably we have what? We have 2 flatbeds, right? Because total count is 2. No, we cannot have flatbeds because we only have 2 trucks. Are we clear on this? How I was just playing with those numbers. If you have 2 trailers, then you have 1 reefer or 1 dry van, or maybe you only have dry vans, right? So here you can put 2. This number here, when you add it together, has to be the same as trailer count or tractor count. Okay, do we have satellites? Yes, we do. Of course we do. Pagers? Not really. If you have, put mobile. Yes. Billing information. This document will be used for what? For you as a vendor, right? So look at this. They're going to ask you for the address. Here you need to put address for your factoring company. Where are you gonna get it? From your NOA, notice of assignment, where it has to go. So it has to go to RTS, right? And they located in, where is they located? In Kansas City. So you guys gonna have address, whatever's provided on your notice of assignment. And email address for whom? For your factory representative, because in this case you're getting money from factoring. So you guys are gonna fill this out. Then you're gonna fill out W-9. So if you listen to me and you created setup packet and you already included W-9, then guys, you don't have to fill this out because you already sent them setup. If you want to fill out one more time, here you go. You're gonna put the name of your carrier. You need to know if he is a corporation, S corporation, C corporation, partnership, whatever he is, his address and his tax ID. You guys gonna sign it, yes or no? Who is gonna sign it? Dispatcher is gonna sign it, or you gonna have permission to use the signature of the owner? Huh? Of course, the owner. One more time, as a dispatcher, you cannot sign any legal documents. And now we go into agreement. So this is agreement when? On today, right? 28th of what? Of January, right? January, what? 2022. Between whom? Between England Logistics and your carrier, right? So I'm going to put right here, your carrier, right? So it's easier. And you're going to put their DOT number. So whatever your carrier DOT number, you guys are going to put there. You're going to scroll down. If they want you to initial, you need to initial. Whose initials? Owner initials. Remember who we have? Mike Chester. So that's initials of the owner. I am Alexandra. I am dispatcher. I am filling this out. But again, I do not have permission legally or because of my services. I cannot put my personal stuff. And again, are we going to be reading from this? All the broker carrier agreements are different. So they have different stipulations. They want you to initial, again, MC, right? Mike Chester, the guy who owns this fake company. Again, MC, MC, and keep going, guys. I'm not gonna put it initials, of course, initials. This is broker carrier agreement with all the dispute resolutions. Remember, we were covering with all the brokers account. Whatever the England Logistics wants to protect, they put it in this contract. Most of them, remember, I told you, they're gonna have confidentiality. They're gonna have notices. They're gonna have contract terms. Most of them, they have stuff over and over. And they have specific requirements for the carriers. Entire agreement. And we need to put again what? The name of your carrier, right? The name of the carrier after a signature title. So it's going to be president. And in this case, who is it going to be again? It's going to be Mike, right? Mike Chester. Hopefully we don't really have the real Mike Chester. I don't know if that's even exists. And company address, whatever the address, 1749, whatever address, guys. I'm just doing it because I don't have patience right now. We go in live. Phone number for whom? For carrier, right? 224. I just remember my number, 600 3200. Okay, signature. We go into what? To safety and compliance. They are asking you that you need to follow all these rules if you want to continue working with them. Look at this. They cannot have violations, right? They cannot have fatal accidents. They do not violate EODs, right? So all of this, you have to agree that you guys are following. So you're going to put again, your carrier, right? Your carrier signature of the owner, printed name, Mike Chester, because you are agreeing on his behalf, and he's the big president of this future trucking company. And as of today, 128, 2022. How many more pages do we have? Quite a lot. So all of this again, what is this one? Has something to do with the California, with the CARB, right? So if you go into California, you have to be CARB certified. So you telling them if you yes or not. So you have to sign and agree to this, right? Especially it works for the reefers, right? They want to make sure. So certain trucks cannot enter California due to emission test. That's what CARB meant. And again, if you want to get faster, they are telling you you can use trans velocity, or if you have factoring, you can send. They give you options. 1 day quick pay if you don't have factoring, 2 day quick pay, 7 day quick pay, and that's how much they charge. So if you want money in 1 day, 6%. If you want money in 4 days, in 2 days, 4%. If you want a 7 day quick pay, they're gonna be 1.5. Or if you have factoring, you can do standard 15 days. So of course, in this case, what do we have? We want to do check. We don't even want to do ACH, because look what's gonna happen. They're gonna charge us $3.50. Again, name of the carrier, DOD, CID number, email for your carrier, and if you do ACH. Again, you only gonna fill out ACH if you do not have factoring. You will need to have voided check for your carrier. You will need to have permission to fill this out, and that's how it's done. And now it's all their advertisement, whatever they advertise. So we fill this out, we are sending back. How hard is this, guys? Hopefully I was not going too fast. How hard it is? Let's look through some questions, right? And I'm also gonna open the, hold on guys, I'm gonna open another window so I can show you a few tricks. So first, let's go through comments. Let's see, comments. Okay, guys. Hello. Okay. See who showed up. Alex says, what a beautiful bucket of flowers. Yes, I love tulips. So if you ever need my free consultation, just send me tulips. Just joking. Love the flowers. Clear. I can hear and see you. Thank you guys for confirming. Good. Yes, and yes. Okay. So don't forget it. It's not too late to sign up, right? On Sunday, we have safety class, $699. If you were our previous student, you're receiving $100 off. So it's going to be only $599. If you enroll in a class right now, if you were a previous student, even if you enroll already in March, you're receiving the discount. You need to contact and we will send you invoice. We're starting on Sunday, not too late. Safety and compliance, 4 days. Okay, hi, can somebody share the membership link? Yes, it's on our join app right there in YouTube, but we share after this video, so just click, and it's also in our description. If you go about the channel, it's right there. Join us. Thank you so much for supporting. And remember, next week, we're gonna choose who? We're gonna choose free winner for our March class. $899 value for whom? For all our supporting members. So you join us for $4 and you have a chance to win a free class. So this is the purpose. You're not just supporting our mission, but you also can get free class instead of $8.99. What are you paying? $3, $4 a month. So you guys can do this. Any questions? Alex, honestly, happy birthday. No, it's not my birthday. It's just the flowers on the background. But thank you. My birthday is coming up in May. Okay. What program do you use, please? I was just using Adobe DC because Adobe DC, it's easy for me. It's only $14 a month. You can add it, you can sign, you can create, you can secure your PDFs, and it remembers information. So if you repeat the same information Second time, it's already picking, so you don't have to start putting the address along. So it's faster. I like. But nowadays we have so many different programs. So whatever you're comfortable with, whatever your budget. But I think Adobe DC, $14 a month pro account, it's pretty cheap, and you will need to have this because every rate confirmation you will need to sign. This light is a little bit bothering me. And that's how it goes. Okay, you're late. Well, you're never late because you can rewatch it later. It stays. But thank you for being here. Oh, wow. Happy birthday, guys. Well, I don't have a birthday today. Okay. But thank you. I think it's just misrepresentation because of the flowers, but thank you so much. If the owner of the company reading things in a fine print makes no good to your business, in logistics, especially trucking, the personal connection and reputation. So I think what Irakli wants to tell us, yes, in those broker carrier agreements, it's a lot of stipulations that you don't really want to agree. But again, we do not have chance. And when he is talking about personal connection, everything else, well, most of the brokers, they have agreements. And most of those agreements have half of the things which you should not agree as a carrier, but we have no choice. Again, trucking is not transparent industry. Trucking is unfair industry. And usually you as a carrier, mostly 95% at fault. That's why if you're going to start dispatching, you guys need to know the basic, the process, and you as a good dispatcher will prevent cargo claims, liability claims, some scammers. You're not gonna work with the brokers who don't have a good rating. You're gonna read every rate confirmation, and you guys gonna make sure that those notes make sense. Because if something doesn't make sense, or maybe your carrier is gonna be responsible, well, you'd better cancel that load. Your job as a dispatcher, make sure that you secure in the load, that you negotiate to the best of carriers agreement and to the best for their business. They have to make profit, they have to prevent claims. So it's not about you 5, 10, 15%. If you're a good dispatcher, they will pay you accordingly if this is what you do. Because I'm getting very sick and tired of people asking me, how do I find carriers? How much are they gonna pay you? And they don't even know the meaning of the broker carrier agreement. They don't even know how to do setup. They don't even know what is the rate confirmation or BOL or POD. Guys, educate yourself, provide good service. Then you guys gonna get paid, and carrier gonna love working with you, right? Okay. Nice managed. Thank you. Thanks for great info. You're welcome. Hello, everyone. Any questions about setups, guys? I'm just going. What did you miss? You did not miss much. Just set up the homeworks you guys doing. So rewatch later because tomorrow we have class. Remember? 10 a.m. Bright and shiny. 4 hours. Tomorrow's gonna be a little bit longer class. Make sure you guys have sandwich, coffee, comfortable sitting. We gonna go through this one more time, see how it's done via a real link, because we're gonna set up few of my carriers, because I asked few brokers to send us link for carriers who are not set up with certain brokers. We're gonna do this. This is just explanation for what has to be done for homework. It was easier for me to go live than answer 75 emails and double check. And so hopefully it helps. Okay. What is this? So we can sign even with us having limited PO. Yeah, you sign with their signature, using their signatures and their name. The POA is going to give you that ability to use their name and their signature. That's a power of attorney. You're going to be using their information, you're going to be using their signature and signing that. Because again, when TQL is going to receive that, who are you, Stephanie? You're not the owner, because they will verify on the safer. So, okay, you're just a dispatcher. TQL is not going to ask you, send us your proof, or, like power of attorney limited. They don't want to deal with it. So, no, we always using their real name, their signature. And that's only what you do with that information, right? Because we talking about being honest in this business and understanding liability. Because if somebody gives you power of attorney and he tells you you can do only this, this, and this, and if you're gonna misuse this information, what's gonna happen, Stephanie? Well, they can take you to court. It can be criminal charges of misusing personal information, right? So this is not a joke here. What does it mean? Reference ID must be unique. Oh, reference ID must be unique. I don't know. I missed probably in England logistics. I don't know what did they mean. I have to relook. Probably the ID for your reference ID for you as a carrier. Usually they gonna assign the ID for your carrier. So in this case, you as a carrier gonna have ID. That's how the third party works. RMIS and assurance and my carrier setup and onboarding. You as a carrier gonna have the same number. So when the brokers use a third party to set you up, you're gonna end up after you finish setup, every time it's gonna be the same number, same number, same. So that's how they know you, who you are. Then we have all of the scammers, guys. Whoever's putting all the inappropriate adult link, please find some different channels. Seriously, I'm tired of looking at this and deleting your comments. Find other channels which you can entertain yourself. So smart, thank you for support. What is this owner? Great information. It was pretty self-explanatory. Yes, it's easy. Again, some people want to verification how it's done. So it's good to just practice and watch of this. And again, here's our link. We're gonna post a link under the video for our members, and we appreciate your support. Thank you. What is a power of attorney? Again, this is a legal document which gives you permission on using somebody's identity. So if I am the owner of the company and I am hiring you as a dispatcher, I know that you will need to do setups. So I am giving you power of using my signature and information about my company, personal information, right? MC, DOT, insurance, all of this to do the paperwork. So that's what power of attorney. We use it in different industries, right? Power of attorney. Maybe you buying house and your relatives are out of the country. You need power of attorney. Behaving on some, so you representing them. You behaving on with their information. So we use it all over. You will need to have it from your carrier. It has to be signed. It has to be notarized. Okay, so that's what it is. Thank you. Thanks for everything. I want to get in the safety class again, guys. Go to our links, right, and make sure it's not too late to sign up. Many of you already know our website. It's Learn Dispatch Today, and all our classes are there. Did I freeze myself or not? Okay, so look at this. If you guys go to our main site, you can register there. You can see all the classes. You can still register for Sunday if you like. I think my internet is not working well today, but here you go. You guys here, so you can go and find our classes, right? All the classes are there, of course. So the one we starting on Sunday is this one. So you can click on details and you can register, right there on our website. You still have time. For previous students, you guys have $100 off. For everybody new, it's $6.99. You have a schedule. It's 4 classes. It's going to be on Sundays. In between the classes, you guys have homework assignments. We're going to cover lots and lots of things. Hiring, terminations, right? We're going to hire data queues, how to deal with violation, all the paperwork. You're going to have examples. This is intense class. This is for serious dispatcher. This is for people who have trucking company, who planning to open trucking company, who want to offer the service. Because as again I said, to be a good dispatcher, you need to know safety and compliance. Hello, Alex. This may be off the topic, but I am confused. LTL and FTL. That's one of the questions when they ask, what kind of loads do you take? So this is just the same. LTL, less than truckload, partial. And FTL is a full truckload, full load. So different brokers just use, some of them going to say partial and full, but usually in logistics, the terminology is LTL, less than truckload. That means partial. And FTL, full truckload. Yesterday, broker thought I was crazy for negotiating too high for partial load. Am I not supposed to? Please explain. Huh? Well, again, if it's a partial load and you asking the price as a full truckload, of course he's gonna say, well, it's a partial, because that's why they call them partial, right? You're gonna take 12 pallets, let's say, for $1,500. Let's say we're coming back from New Jersey to Chicago. So this is a partial. Instead of taking one load, Newark, New Jersey, going to Chicago, which pays $2,200, one pick, one drop, you pick up, you deliver. You decided to do partial so you can make more money. Or maybe you had space left. Of course, it cannot be dedicated load, right? So let's say you're taking partials. You book in one load with 10 pallets. You asking for what? They say, well, we pay $1,200. You, Peter, after my class, you say, well, but everybody pays from Newark, New Jersey, go to Chicago, $2,200. That's when he's going to say, hello, Peter, you're not being realistic. We're talking about partial load. This is not a full load. So if you want $2,200 for this load, then you should go find a full load. Well, let's say you book this $1,500. You still have space left on your truck. Maybe you can get another partial with also 10 pallets, which also pays $1,500. So combining two partials, $1,500 and $1,500, you making $3,000. If you take one-on-one full load, you making $22,000. So usually combining LTLs, you make more profit. But also, what you getting, Peter? Headaches, right? Because you need to make sure, especially if it's a reefer, the temperature has to be the same. The transit gonna make sense. What's coming first on the truck, what's coming second. So when you start combining 3-4 partials, you really need to pay attention how to pick up those loads. And you need to pay attention to transit. Because sometimes if your second partial cannot be delivered, for example, today is what? Friday, right? You pick up two partials. Let's say they go to Chicago. One of them delivering on Monday, but the second partial delivering Monday night. In this case, does it make sense to get the $3,000 extra $800? No, you're going to lose full Monday to deliver that partial. So that's what it means, right? But usually partial rates are lower because they know you're going to be combining. Here's one trick. Even if you have 5 pallets, but the broker tells you it's going to be only 5 pallets, but we need dedicated truck. You have space. You're so responsible guy, right? And your driver says, well, we have space. Peter, find me something else. But if that broker paid you the full rate, $2,200 for one pick, one drop, you cannot combine. You cannot add partial. I don't care if you have space. That's what calls dedicated truck. I can put as a broker only one pallet. Maybe it's something very important which needs to deliver. I don't want nobody to open the seal. I am paying you the full truckload rate, but I only have one pallet. Can you combine? No, you shouldn't. You cannot, not legally, but how many people do that? They open the seal, right? We discussed it in a class, and they put partial. And a lot of times you get lucky, but a lot of times you're gonna get caught and you're gonna end up having a cargo claim and you're not gonna get paid. So when you guys do any of those scams, you have to be on the same page with the driver, with your management, and you have to be pretty clever to make sure that everything goes smooth. But hopefully I did answer this. Okay. Thank you so much. Perfect. I understand. What else? Welcome, Alex. Everyone. Okay. Again, Yaroslava Bulanova, whatever you post in there, please find a different channel. We don't need adult pictures. We don't need all of this. we learning trucking. So start picking on somebody else, okay? What access of information do you have once you become a member? Well, the member information, actually, we were planning just to do member only videos and lives, and probably we're gonna enforce that soon. We start doing it, but then I felt bad for everybody else. So this is actually just your mission, supporting our mission. And yes, you can win the class. And hopefully in April, only for members, I'm gonna do those live phone calls like 10-15 minutes a day, but I'm planning to start doing it probably end of March, 10 minutes a day for members only. Because if you want to see me dispatching and do this every day, it has to be some kind of feedback. And remember, whatever we earn on membership and even more from even YouTube channel, we give back to community. So we give free classes. We have a lot of people who won classes last year, and we gave in. Thank you. Okay. Can we sign carrier and broker even though we are not booking a load with broker at the moment? That's a good question, Carla. Yes, you can. A lot of brokers, if you reach out to them, right? And if you look in, and that's what I advise you to do, if you start dispatching, for example, for carrier, right? You can go on a power that, and you can pause the truck. Let me just open. I think that internet is going. So let's see. If I go to power that and I open, look at all of these companies, right? And you can organize. If you personally know that, for example, you are not set up yet with Allen Land, if you're not set up with Bay and Bay Transportation, you check their credit score on your factoring, you can call this guy and say, well, I am a new carrier, I am working for the new, can we get set up? And usually 30% of them gonna say no problem. They're gonna check your safety score on a safer, they're gonna say, yeah, you're good to go. Again, some of them are not working with the carriers who've been in business only for 1 day. They're going to say, well, you good. You're already in business for 30 days. You already been in business for 60 days. Sometimes they're going to tell you, well, unfortunately, I cannot set you up because you have to be 3 months in the business. So then you have to call them back. But most of them, they don't mind. They're going to ask you again for what? MC, DOT, phone number, email, and they're going to send it to you, right? So yes, you should do this before. So when next time you're going to see these guys, you already set up, right? So for example, if we're going to go to TQL, right? Let's do it right now. If you go to TQL, you don't have to do the PDF. You can do what? Carriers, right? And what you can do? Start hauling. That's what you do. And you can set up your carrier as long as what? As long as they have insurance and all the information already on file with FMCSA. You're going to go to the next page. And yes, of course, you're not a robot. And we have a terrible connection today. Hopefully, you guys watching all this. And you're going to put the number. And you're going to continue. So whatever questions we answer, you guys going to answer them online. It's going to be faster, right? But why I'm showing you PDF? So you can practice. That's why in my class you guys receive, so you can practice and you understand what are they asking you. For example, tomorrow in the class, in the beginning of the class, I'm going to answer all the questions which my students still have because they receive 8-10 packages. If some of them want to receive more, I will send them more after tomorrow class because information is the same, process is the same. Okay. Again, can you be a dispatcher? Can you work from laptop, or is better to have stationary computer? What brand would be the best? Well, guys, again, I am not a computer genius, whatever brand, but as many of you have been watching me, as many of you see the requirements to succeed, you need to have 2 screens. I've never seen dispatchers succeeding from only laptop with 1 screen because you need to have load board open, and few of them, right? That truck stop, TQL load board, let's say Coyote load board, everything. Then you need to have emails. What if you are dispatching 2 3 carriers? You need to have emails open. Then you need to have map. You need to make sure you have ELD, maybe TMS. So how can you succeed on a laptop? That's why when you watching videos from people who dispatching or dispatch offices, lots of them, they have 3 screens, or my advice to have 2, but bigger screens. For example, me, I have 38 inches. This is the only way. You can sign up for class and go through class with a laptop, but to start dispatching, this is your beginning investment, right? I don't care if it's just desktop, but you need to have 2 monitors. If you're gonna have laptop, it has to be connected to another screen. This is not just my personal preference. This is what's gonna make you successful, right? So what else? And remember, every time you're gonna be setting up carrier, you need to make sure you sign them up for brokers load boards, right? So you need to log in. So you guys gonna log in to carrier. This is a TQL load board. Why do you guys want to do this? Well, because you guys want to make sure that they have extra load board, right? So you log in. So now you have a free load board where you can do what? Where you can bid, where you can bid on all the stuff. Look at this. So you can search, you can see the payments, what was done for exactly this carrier, right? So past week, let's say whatever, 3 months. So you can see all the 2 years. Look, in 2 years, how many loads were done with TQL, right? You can search for the loads, my loads, you can search and quote. So this is a load board. So remember to sign them up for the load board. Who has load boards? Nowadays, 70% of brokers have load boards. Convoy, Coyote, Amazon Relay, TQL, England Logistics, oh my God, XPO, Echo Logistics, Trinity, Spot Market, whoever, Loadmaster. That's why. How many load boards are you guys gonna have? When person telling me I cannot find a load, that means that you don't really know how to dispatch trucks, because we have the main load boards where most of us find the loads, but then you go directly to direct brokers and you post your equipment there. You still searching, and most of the time it's only bidding, so it's easy. You don't have to make that extra phone call. It's way easier, right? So this is your plan A, B, and C. And C, so A is the main load boards. B, for all the load boards for your broker. What is a C? Personal relations now, right? So sometimes, oh my God, you don't have internet or something happened or you have bad connection. What are you going to do? You're going to go to your phone, to your emails, and you're going to go through the list of your brokers. If you know that this guy have always trucks from Kansas to Missouri, you're gonna, oh, Kansas to Illinois, you're gonna call him and say, you know what, do you have any lanes? You guys gonna start setting up dedicated lanes, right? Not you setting up, but you're gonna use the same brokers. And in my class, I'm always teaching how we ever gonna finish our negotiation with one question. Do you have any reloads? Do you have any backhaul from this exactly shipper or receiver or the area? Because you can book 2 loads with the same person. And when you know how much he's paying back, well, it's easier for you to negotiate and stay in that rate per mile market, right? Hopefully, you guys are understanding all this. Okay, all the keys up to 12 is LTL, anything above is FTL. This is a wrong statement. No, 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 and no. Because as I said, if I am booking as a full truckload, it can be only 1 pallet and it will be full truckload. If I am booking 19 pallets, it can be still full truckload. So no, this is a wrong statement. So if you guys not sure about terminology in the process, stop giving wrong advices. LTL, less than truckload partial, it's going to be determined not only by how heavy, how many pallets, but exactly how broker is booking this, right? I hope I explained it pretty clear. So no, it's not. Okay. And it takes a lot of planning and headache. Yes. Okay. Um, Flowers match outfit. Thank you. Okay. I really want to join, but I really do not have the finance to do so. Well, keep watching our lives. We have a lot of information. We can split the payment in two. Again, business throw extra load, business to throw extra load in dedicated. Again, but directly we are learning to do this business honestly, right? Again, another people, whoever this is, please stop with all this scamming, whoever you guys are. We are here to learn. We will be blocking you and reporting you to YouTube. Thank you so much. I understand better now. It was only one partial. And it's okay because with partial, you can make more money. You just will need to pay extra attention, right? And of course, you have to negotiate. And if broker tells you that it's too much, probably it was a little bit too much, but still, how can you compare? Compare the rates for the full load. So in this case, post full loads and see how much they paying. So yes, you have to be a little bit below what you have to be close. And if you're good, sometimes your LTL partial is same price as full truckload, right? That's what makes you professional. But good job, Peter. I see all the improvement. Okay. Thank you, guys. And again, thank you so much for the videos. Okay. After we finish the class, what is the first step? Again, today we are talking about how to get set up. So I'm not answering anything if it's not setup related. Okay. Love you all, guys. Any other questions? Safety is coming up Sunday, right? So make sure you subscribe to our website if you want to be part of this mission. Make sure you sign up for safety. It's not too late. Of course, like, comment, and share because I do believe we do a great job. And in the end, together, we can change trucking for better. For all my students, hopefully you rewatch this. Fill out paperwork. You don't have to send it back to me. Make sure you know how to answer. We're gonna retouch this subject in the morning tomorrow in the class. For all the previous students, it's a refresher. For everybody who is new or who is looking, hopefully you guys find this information helpful. And I'll see you soon next week. And for everybody who is in the class, I will this stay on YouTube? Yes, Stephanie, it always stays on YouTube. So when I go live, they stay on YouTube. That's why you don't have to worry about that you were late or something. You can rewatch it as many times as possible. So this is staying on YouTube. And if you guys have any questions when you still rewatching some videos, ask right there, right? First, of course, like, share, and put at least plus so we have more comments. But if you still confused, tell me. On a page this, I don't know what they were asking. And usually I respond really fast. How do I get to the safety class? You go to our website. Learn Dispatch Today, right here, learndispatchtoday.com. We gonna post under this video, or you already know where to find us, Learn Dispatch Today, and you go to home and you find all our classes, right? So all the classes right here. And you scroll down. I don't know what's going on today with my internet. And here is the details. So you're talking about this class. You sign up. I receive your information the moment you register. You will receive PDFs for Sunday, but it's no pre-study needed for safety. You will be learning a lot after Sunday. And of course, you will have quizzes, homework, and assignments because my trainings are hands-on. I want to make sure you listen to me, you watch, you reread, and then you apply. This is the only way you can succeed. And hopefully, you guys, see you soon. Love you.